Hello everyone. Well, not a whole lot of storms in Iowa today, but where storms do pop up, there's a small chance they could be severe. And then tomorrow, looking like a stormier day across the state. So let's break down both days for you, starting at 8 a.m. this morning. And we're just talking about some isolated showers and weak storms in the most northwestern part of the state. Most are going to be dry. When we jump ahead to noon, though, notice a little bit more showing up in the northwestern part of the state. Still a lot in the state dry. But I do need to mention, once we get into the afternoon, the storms will increase in intensity. And I still think mostly what we're talking about is regular thunderstorms, but I gotta leave it an outside chance for some damaging wind and hail. It is a possibility, and maybe one or two storms that pop up. Let's jump ahead now to 3 o'clock and notice still mainly hanging out in the northwestern part of the state. Mason City, Sioux City, and on to the northwest. Notice a little bit of activity finally starting to show up in the south central part of the state. It's also going to be about 3 o'clock that we're going to hit our high temperatures today. And I tell you what, a lot of us reaching the upper 70s or even the low 80s. And breezy across the state no matter where you are. Gusts 20, 25 miles per hour. Jumping ahead now to 6 o'clock. Notice more activity showing up in the central part of the state, maybe finally in the southeastern part of the state. And I still got to keep in the chance for a couple of severe storms in the western part of the state. I really don't want to take the chance out until 9 o'clock this evening, maybe even still 7, 8 o'clock, the potential for severe storms. But by 9 o'clock, I think the atmosphere becoming too stable across Iowa for any severe storms. I actually think we're going to continue to see more showers and storms pop up as we go through the overnight hours, especially to the north and east, but they would not be severe storms. So the severe threat is just for the most western part of the state from noon today until as late as 9 o'clock this evening. Most likely just talking about heavy rain and lightning. But got to mention, there is a small chance in the most western part of the state, Denison, Sioux City, that we could see up to penny-sized hail and wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Not worried about any tornadoes, but I do also have to mention, I showed you how long the rain is going to be lingering from the afternoon and into the early evening hours. It is possible we could see a few flooded roads, particularly in low-lying, poorly drained locations. So now we're looking ahead to tomorrow, and look at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Definitely looking wetter for the morning commute tomorrow than today. We're talking about scattered showers and weak storms across the state. No severe storms to worry about for the morning commute tomorrow, but do have to say a good chance that you're going to encounter some rain. And notice the chance across the state about looking about the same. And actually, during the day tomorrow, it looks wetter in the morning than the afternoon. Notice this activity pushing to the north and east. So now we're looking at lunchtime, 11 a.m., a little bit better chance the northeastern half of the state than the southwestern half of the state, but notice less activity than what we're seeing in the early morning. Still no severe storms to worry about. And notice at 3 o'clock, even drier still. Now we're just talking about isolated showers and a couple of weak storms. You know, because there's going to be more cloud cover around tomorrow and more rain, I think temperatures are going to be a little bit cooler in most spots, not as many getting into the low 80s, but still we're talking about mid to upper 70s being common, and still going to be a breezy day, gusts 20, 25 miles per hour. So what about the severe threat for tomorrow? Well, I tell you what, it doesn't look to begin until about 7 o'clock in the evening. Look at those storms around the Omaha area. So this is when the storms could start to push from Nebraska into Iowa. So once again, talking about the chance for severe storms for the western part, saying maybe could end up being a little bit higher chance of possibly seeing wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, maybe some quarter-size hail. The question we have, though, is how long is the severe threat going to last? We know it's there for the western part of the state for the early evening hours, but how long are the storms going to hold on to their intensity? We know they're going to be weakening as they push to the east. And the question is, how far are they going to make it to the east? This line of storms will be pushing to the east, but we just don't know yet how severe they're going to be, how many are going to be severe storms. So right now, I do want to mention that it is possible we could see severe storms as we get into the late evening, early overnight hours in the central part of the state. But as it stands right now, it looks like the most eastern part of the state, not worried about a severe threat. But bottom line, look for an update on this tomorrow morning.